Hello, my name is Hans George Campbell. Welcome to my unboxing and review of the AVerTV HD DVR video capture board by AVerMedia. Today we're going to take a look at the contents of this box. We're going to take a look at the board. Afterwards, we're going to install this capture board into my newly built Windows XP Windows Vista computer. Then we're going to go into my computer room and we're going to take a look at the software. And I'm going to show you how to set up the software. And then I'm thinking about hooking up one of my PlayStation 2 video gaming consoles up to this capture board and see how well it captures 480i and 720p video from the PlayStation 2. I'm also going to hook up my Nintendo 64 and see how well it captures S-video. Okay, see how well it captures 240p. And yeah, so there's a lot to show you and a lot to talk about, so let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at this AVerTV HD DVR video capture board from AVerMedia. This is one of the, if not the best, video capture board that was available during the Windows XP and Windows Vista time period. Even by today's standards, this board does a better job at capturing video than most modern capture boards. So yeah, this is a very nice board, and so I wanted to show it to you guys. Anyway, this is the back of the box. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, zoom out just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Okay. And that's the front of the box. This is the back of the box. Okay, capture your best game in HD. Okay, I don't know if you can, how well you can read any of that. You can pause the video if you want to read any of that stuff. You can pause the video to read any of that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And there is the system requirements right there in English. Okay, and this is what's included in the box. And so now we're going to take a look at what's in this box. I already broke the seal because I opened it earlier just to see what's in. Okay, I'm going to show you a good way, a safe way to open up boxes that have these lock flaps like that. so that you don't tear the box or damage. You take a knife like this, you can take the blunt, straight edge of the knife, you slip it in like that, and you basically push, and you open like a hinge. You push up like this, and it opens up the box without tearing the flap. See how nice it opened up that box? It's not creased, it's not torn. So yeah, and let me just pour it out. Alright, so there's that. Alright, and then inside the box here we have the board itself and a pink anti-static bag. Now this bag does not generate static electricity, but it also does not protect against static electricity. Just so that you know, if you want to protect a board from static electricity, you want to put it in a silver anti-static bag or a black anti-static bag, not a pink one like this. This does not protect against static electricity damage. Okay? But anyway, we'll take a look at the board after we take a look at everything else that's in the box. Okay, we've got the all-important breakout cable right here, the breakout cable. Okay. We'll take a look at that in more detail in a moment. We've got this, okay, we got the, we'll take a look at this in a moment. But we've got the quick installation guide. Okay. We got that quick installation guide. It just folds out. I actually don't like when they do the guides like this. Why don't they just put it like in a book, you know, book form, instead of having it like this? I mean, to me, this is stupid. It really is stupid. And there's that. You're probably going to want to take a look at that part there. Okay. That part right there. Yeah, that's the most important part of this installation guide. Okay. But yeah, we're going to install this in my computer next. Okay, so that's the installation guide. This is the all-important CD. And let me do it like that. If you notice, the software is for Windows XP, Windows Vista, and Windows 7. Both 30, I think it supports both 32-bit and 64-bit. Okay, but most of us, when we build our legacy PCs, they're usually 32-bit. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, support for Windows XP, Vista, and Windows 7. Do not chuck this CD like most people recommend that you do. They're stupid, you know, full of ego. You need to, these are the drivers that you need to install. This is the software that you need to install on your computer. And then, if everything is working properly, there is no reason to go to the manufacturer's website to download the latest drivers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, if you are having problems, then yes, by all means, go to the manufacturer's website and see if there's a newer driver that they came out with, you know, that may fix, you know, your problems. So yeah, but always install these drivers. The drivers that come on the CD or DVD with your hardware, these are the drivers you should always install. Okay? Alrighty. Then we have what are the product warranty and registration. Alright. Product warranty and registration. Okay. And I don't think, oh, we got this here. This is if you're building like a small computer and you use low profile like brackets like this. That's what this is for. But I use nothing but full size computers, you know, so I don't really need that. I'll keep it though. And then there's nothing left in the box but this foam. That's it, people. Nothing left in that box with that foam. So, yeah. So, let's take a look at the board. I'm breaking the seal on camera. Okay. I'll throw this tape away later on. Okay, so let me do something first. I need to touch something made out of metal. Well, this is an anti-static mat, so I should be okay. I don't want to damage this board, though. Anyway, so yeah. There's the board itself. Looks like it's a very nice board. A lot going on that board. Okay. The capacitors appear to be very high quality Japanese capacitors. They're very nice capacitors. I can see just by looking at them. Those are Japanese capacitors. Very nice board. This is a very nice board. Yeah. It's PCI Express 1 version 2.0. So it's a fast board. Has twice the bandwidth of PCI Express version 1.0. So yeah. And then there, okay, do not get these. This may look like an HDMI. Let me take this off of here. This one may look like it's HDMI, but do not get these mixed up. These are both inputs. Okay, this is HDMI. Let me get my pointer. This is HDMI input. Okay, so this is where you would hook up like a Windows 98 computer or a DOS computer or whatever that has HDMI output, or even a modern computer for that matter, you know, or video gaming consoles or whatever that has HDMI output, and you want to capture from those devices. It would be hooked up into here. Okay, this right here is where you plug in that breakout cable, that AV cable. It gets plugged into here. And we'll take a look at that next. This is where you would want to record like Commodore 64 gameplay footage or whatever, Commodore 128, Atari ST, Amiga, going through, actually that would go through HDMI, because you'd go through a SCART to RGB, then RGB to HDMI, and this would capture that really well. But this would be like, you know, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, the Apple II computers, Commodore 64, the VIC-20, you know, a lot of your 8-bit computers or video gaming consoles, you know, even the 16-bit consoles. You would plug, I mean, you would record, you'll capture from those devices using the breakout cable that gets plugged into here. So yeah, we'll take a look at that breakout cable next. Okay, so let's take a look at this breakout cable. This breakout cable, it plugs in to like this, into this part of the board here, like that. That's how it would look, you know, from the back of your PC. It would plug into there, into this lower connector right here. The top connector is HDMI input only. The bottom HDMI connector is for your breakout cable. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, and on this breakout cable, we have, well, we have, wait a minute. I know it's color-coded. I think it's color-coded. Yeah, it's color-coded. Okay, we've got your color composite input. That's with the yellow stripe. That's color composite. And we have your S video. Okay, so these would be great, like if you want to capture video from like Commodore VIC-20, a Commodore 64, Commodore 128, the Super Nintendo, well, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the Nintendo 64. You get the idea. Apple II computers. But yeah, that's your video inputs. So color composite video and S video. Okay. And the board supposedly does capture 240p, which is your standard definition. And then to go with these cables, you have your left audio, which is the white stripe, and yeah, the left audio, and your right audio, which is the right audio is your red stripe, left audio is your white stripe. So there's your audio inputs there that you would use either with the color composite video or the S video, not with both. Okay? So there's your 240p, your standard definition inputs right there. And then these are your component video inputs that you would use with like a classic Xbox, a PlayStation 2, a DVD player, or anything that puts out component output. You know, it gives you a component output. And so I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to think which is which here. It doesn't really say. Trying to think what's what. Okay, I see how they got these. Alright, the black cables, I mean the ones that have the black connectors on it like that, those are your component video cables. Okay, because it's got red, you got your green stripe, and you got your like a turquoise blue stripe. That's your component video right there. And then these with the purple blue color, okay, that's your right and left audio for use with component video. Okay, and you can tell that they go together because down here they're basically tied together. They're together. And then your 240p connectors, they're separate. Your cable's for your 240p. This is for your 480p or, I mean, yeah, 480 or 720p or 1080i. Because there are some games, for instance, on the Sony Playstation 2, Gran Turismo 4, it has a high resolution of 1080i. So yeah, and for games like that, I think yeah, this capture board is going to do really well. But yeah, this is mainly for your legacy video gaming consoles, legacy computers, that type of thing. It's not designed for capturing modern 1080p videos or 2K or 4K videos, but for the older video gaming consoles and the older PCs, this video capture board is one of the best. So yeah, so now we're going to install the capture board, the AVerMedia capture board, into my newly built Windows XP, Windows Vista computer. Alrighty. I'm not sure which slot I want to plug it into. I'm going to try this one first. and see how close the board is to this fan here on my graphics card. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, let's plug this board in. Alright. Hopefully it's not going to be too close to that. Yeah, I'm thinking this might actually work pretty good. That's not too close to my fan. As long as the fan can get air. Yeah, because the upper half of the fan can easily, it's wide open, it can easily get air. And then below there's about, what, about a quarter, I don't know, about a quarter of an inch. So it should still be able to get air to that fan. So yeah, I'm going to call it good. I don't really want to plug it in here because of how close the back of the board will be to this aluminum heat sink right there. You know, I think it's going to be fine right here. I really do. I think it's going to be fine right there. So, okay, the board's plugged into the PCI Express 1.0 slot. It's a real nice board. It's a very nice board. Let me see something though. Yeah, let me see something. Okay, yeah, that's good. Alright. Should be okay. Yeah, it should be okay. Okay, so there's that. It should go in just, yeah, it should plug in just fine. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that should be fine. Make sure it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. It's in the slot. Yeah, I don't see any problems with that. Yeah, that fan should still be able to get the air in there. So yeah, that looks okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, should be fine. So let me close her up. And then we'll take the computer into in my computer room and we'll install the software. And I will show you the software and how to set it up for doing your video capturing. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love this computer. This is one of the finest Windows XP, Windows Vista computers I've ever built. It's really nice. Very high quality. Okay, so next we're going to go in my computer room. I'm going to install the software and show you the software and show you how to use the software. AVerMedia Center 3D. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the old Xbox Media Center. In fact, that's what this is. So not only do you use the software to capture from the AVerMedia video capture board, But you can also use it like a really nice media center, because that's where you can watch your videos that you have recorded or other videos that you may have on your computer. This is where you can listen to your music. This is where you can view your pictures. This is your settings right there. So let me check the settings real quick. Yeah, this is where you can set your storage folder, where your videos are stored, your picture folder, the video device. You can set up multiple capture devices in case you want to capture from multiple sources. You can do that. More options. That sets like your defaults for the United States and other stuff, you know. Sets up that kind of stuff. Okay. Alrighty. So, okay, this is that's where your videos are stored. You can change that if you need to. Okay. SD input value. Let me check this real quick. Configure recording. I think that's strictly for your HDMI input. So let's say you're recording from a PlayStation 2, you would select SD input source, standard definition. Whenever you're using the breakout cable with the different connectors on it on the end, you would select standard definition. If you're using HDMI input, then you would select HD input source. Okay, then you have your video standards here and your closed caption here. Let me check video standards. Yeah, that looks right. That looks right. Okay, is there anything else? Yeah, that looks okay. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll select that. And MPEG-2. Now, the reason why you want to select MPEG-2 if you're using Windows XP is because then you don't have to use a codec. Okay? Windows XP supports MPEG-2. It also supports AVI and, of course, Windows Media. Windows Media Audio, I guess what that is. It also supports WAV. But I think you need a codec for DVD format, which is, I think, MP2, or wait a minute, actually this is DVD format, so I wonder what that is. I wonder what that format is. Wow, it supports all these different formats. Wow. That's actually nice. Yeah, that's actually really nice. This format here is usually for the older versions of Windows, like Windows 95, Windows 98. Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, that's, yeah, WMV. Windows Media Video. I don't know what that is. That's your standard CD audio right there. Yeah. So yeah, we'll leave it at MPEG-2 so that we can play the file if we want to, you know, within Windows XP. So, yeah. Okay, so alright, so let's click on Capture. We got our PlayStation 2 turned on already. It's ready to go, as you can see. Okay, and it's going through a component. Okay, it's going through the component cables. It looks pretty good, actually. Okay, you press Control R to start recording and Control S to stop recording. So let's load up a game. Now, the newer games that I added to the SSD, I forgot to add the artwork, but I'll do that at a later time. Like that one there, I forgot to add the artwork. But I plan on doing complete playthroughs of these games in future episodes, so stay tuned for that. Now, Gran Turismo 4, this game here I know supports 1080i. I know that for a fact. And Justice League Heroes, that is one of the games that uses the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance engine. The same thing with Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. That game also uses the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance engine, and I plan on doing an episode showing all of the games that use the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance engine. So stay tuned for that wonderful content. Yeah. Let's load up Metal Slug 4. Okay. As we can see here, that the game is 4:3 aspect ratio, so that's what we're going to record it in. It's 480i, which means that's interlaced, which means that it's actually a 240p game. NTSC, the game normally comes on a DVD, so let's load that up. I'll hit. Want to get to the point, I'll hit Control R to start recording. In fact, right now it'd be fine. See how it has like a blinking red dot there in the upper left-hand corner? That shows you that it's recording. Now, that doesn't show when you're recording. It only shows up from within AVerMedia. So, yeah. That's kind of nice, it doing that. And then up there, in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, that's the seconds going by. That's how many seconds of record time you've done. Minutes, seconds, hours. So, yeah, that's a nice feature, too. You can see the seconds going by.
Launcher.
Okay, so Control S stops recording. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to hook up my Nintendo 64 and load up a game. Because I want to see how well this AVerMedia capture board captures just normal 240p component, color color composite video, or S video. I want to see how well it does that. And afterwards, I may actually also hook up one of my Commodore 64 computers and load up, plug in my Load Runner cartridge and see how that looks being captured by this board. So, yeah. So that's coming up next. Okay, I have my Nintendo 64 hooked up to the AVerMedia capture board via the S video cable because I wanted to try out the 240p video capturing capability of this board. So that's what I'm doing now. So I got it on S video right here. It's on the S video. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn on my Nintendo 64. Alrighty. Okay. So let me... Doom 64 is usually a very dark game. So I'm going to adjust the... I'll do the volume first. Okay. And then I'll do the display. I'll set the brightness all the way up. And it's still a dark game. Especially if you're doing video capturing from S video or composite video. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that should do it. Yeah. Okay. So let me hit the Control R to start the recording. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And the seconds are being displayed up in the upper right-hand corner there. Okay, that actually looks really good. When I'm done recording footage, gameplay footage from my Commodore 64 computer, then what I'll do is I'll load up each one of these captures that I did within Windows Media Player in Windows XP, and we'll see what they look like when viewed at 1080p in Windows Media Player. So, yeah. Anyway, next I'm going to hook up my Commodore 64 computer, and we're going to see how well this AVerMedia capture board captures video, S-video, coming from an old 8-bit computer. So that's coming up next. Okay, I have my Commodore 64 computer hooked up, so let me go ahead and turn it on. And I got the Load Runner cartridge, so I'm going to hit Control R to record. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's coming from my Commodore 64 computer, which is an old 8-bit computer. And it's going through the S-video cable. So yeah, I think, yeah, that looks pretty good actually. Doesn't look bad. Yeah, that looks good. These videos will look perfect, these captures, these video captures, they'll look perfect on the proper 4:3 aspect ratio display, especially with CRT. I don't know how grainy they're going to look when they're upscaled to 1080p. So we'll see after this. Yeah, this actually looks really good. This is one of my all-time favorite games for the Commodore 64. It really is. I could play this game for hours. And I also have the editor where you can actually create your own maps, your own screens. That's a lot of fun too. Okay, so Control S to stop recording. Okay. And let me turn off the Commodore 64 computer. Okay. All right. Now let's see what the Commodore 64 capture looks like. Yeah, I got to turn off this part right here where it's connecting to the internet, or tries to connect to the internet. Oh wow, that's not bad. Considering that capture is from an old 8-bit computer, that's not bad at all, actually. Now what I could do is I could actually have the video, like when I render this to a final video, I can have the video playing at its native screen resolution within a static image that's 1080p. And I think that would look really good and it would work really good. Like for instance, I could have like a static image of a Commodore 1702 monitor and then have this running on the screen of that static image. So I think that would look really good. I just need to figure out how to do that. I've never done that before. So if any of you know a piece of software that will allow me to have a video running from within a static image, please leave a comment and leave a comment and maybe a link to that software. Yeah, let me know how to do that.
because I like to do that. I like to be able to do that. And no, I don't want to use an Adobe product. I don't want to use anything by Adobe or Apple. There's got to be something else out there, some other piece of software out there that will allow you to run a video within a static image. Okay? It's got to be, because I've seen people do it. I've seen people do it, so there's got to be a way to do it. Yeah, this doesn't look, this does not look bad being displayed on a 1080p monitor. This actually looks pretty sharp. So yeah, I think this video capture board is going to work out really well for like when I show you guys some of my favorite Commodore 64 games and show you how to program the Commodore 64, you know, or the Commodore 128, like with this Advanced Basic 7, you know. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. I think it's going to work out really well. Yeah, I'm really impressed. This capture is from an 8-bit computer. I mean, look at this. Let me replay it. See? Okay, that's what it would look like if you were displaying it on a static image. I would get rid of this white stripe here. That would be covered up. And imagine this. Let's say you have a static picture, like a picture of a Commodore 1702 monitor, and you'd have like Commodore brown or beige on the sides here, because it'd be a 1080p picture. And you have a Commodore 1702 monitor, okay, and then you have this on the screen of that monitor. I think it would be really cool. I think that would look really good. I really do. Now, the demo here does not have sound. That's why you're not hearing any sound. But when you actually play the game, there is sound. So, yeah, don't worry about that. But, yeah, this looks really good. Let me... well, okay. So how do we go back to the... Okay, so Alt-Enter to go full screen again. Yeah, this looks really good. It looks very good. Yeah. Considering that this was captured from an old 8-bit computer, a Commodore 64. And this video is being this 8-bit video is being displayed at 1080p. And look, still pretty clear. I mean, it's not as clear as it would be on a CRT monitor at the proper 4:3 aspect ratio, but it looks pretty good. It doesn't look bad. And I can easily get rid of that white line that's on the left-hand side. I'm not worried about that. I can get rid of that. Yeah, I can get rid of that within the capture. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. It actually looks really good. Yeah. I like it. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with that. So, okay, Alt-Enter. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like it. So, let's see what these videos look like from within AVerMedia Center 3D. Let's see what they look like. Okay, go up here to the videos. I think this does bring up a thumbnail, or does it? Okay, that's Load Runner. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't want to close that. Okay. Load it back up. Load it back up, Mr. Campbell. Do it right. I know that this is supposed to show a thumbnail over here. I don't know why it's not doing it. It's supposed to show a thumbnail. Yeah, it's supposed to show a thumbnail. Okay, so let me... Huh. Okay, well, see. Alrighty, so try that one. Okay, I see what's going on. So this is what the videos look like from within AVerMedia Center. Stop. And okay, how do you get out of this and go to the next one? There's got to be a way to get out of this. How the hell do you get out of this? Oh, okay, that's how I do it. Okay, so once you play it, it comes up with a thumbnail, I guess. Okay, so this is Doom 64. All right. It's kind of grainy. Probably because it's so damn dark. And I know this from photography and from doing video professionally that the darker an image is, the more grainy it becomes. So yeah. But I like the graphics card, I mean the capture board. I think it does its job. It works really well. You have to remember the time period that this is from the Windows XP time period, this video capture board, and it works really well. This would have been one of the best, if not the best, video capture board during the Windows XP and Windows Vista time period. It's a really nice board. Yeah, see, now that it's a brighter image, it's not so grainy. Yeah, this doesn't look bad. It does not look bad at all, actually. Okay, so we're going to stop that, and we'll go back. I want to check that out. No, wrong one. Wrong one. Okay, it's going to be, I think, this one. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I need to figure out how to get rid of that line that's on the left-hand side. I think that has to do with the fact that this is an old 8-bit game, and you don't see that on a CRT monitor because the bezel hides that. But I know there's a way to get rid of that. Other than that, the image, for being an old 8-bit, coming from an 8-bit computer, this actually looks very good. It looks very good. Yeah, this is not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, so that's what it looks like when you turn on the Commodore 64 computer. That's not bad, actually. It looks pretty clear. Because look at the text. It's not bad. Considering this is from an old 8-bit computer. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. At the time of posting this video, which is June of 2025, this is the best video on YouTube about this AVerMedia capture board. This is the best video on YouTube about this capture board. Anyway, that's it. My name is Hans George Campbell, and stay tuned for more exciting content here on the Hans Campbell Show.